Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining me. You know, Mark over at Richardson Reads recently tagged me on the Opera Composer's book tag, and being a book lover and being an opera lover, this tag sounded like it was just right for me, right? If you've watched my channel for very long, you've seen that I frequently or I periodically will attend live performances of opera, and when I do, I typically try to do a chat on the opera and upload it to my channel. So this tag is a perfect opportunity to sort of mesh my opera chats with my book chats into one sort of endeavor. So I'm just so excited to do this tag. This tag was created by Just One Reader, and I will link to the original tag from Just One Reader in the details below, and I will also link to Mark over at Richardson Reads responses down in the details below. But there are 8 questions, or there are 8 different opera composers on this tag, and each, and then it's associated with books sort of around the style of the opera or the style of the composer, and then associated with books or authors. So let's just jump into it. The first one is Bizet. So whenever I think of Bizet opera, I think of Carmen, and so a book or author that is utterly exciting. For me, a Carmen-esque, exciting sort of book author is a space opera. So if I'm going to look for that type of book, I will go to some sort of space opera. And so something like the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov, the Culture series by Iain M. Banks. I love the Imperial Radch series by Anne Leckie. And there are others, but you know, space opera. But those types of space operatic series I really like. So number 2, Verdi. So Verdi, La Traviata, Aida, Don Carlos. So a book or author that is very popular or famous and that you actually love. So you know, an author that is very famous, you know, sometimes I think that a lot of times they get sort of swept under the rug and not taken seriously. I personally like and love Haruki Murakami. He's a very popular author worldwide, and he gets dissed a lot by a lot of people, but I personally enjoy his work, and so he's very popular, he's very famous, and I love the stuff he does. So, number 3, Puccini. Madama Butterfly, a book or author that is romantic, exuberant, or enveloping. You know, and so I thought about this for a while. Romantic to me is Jane Austen. So I would think of what always comes to mind first is Sense and Sensibility. Of course, I have this copy of Pride and Prejudice that I just bought, a physical copy of it. But Jane Austen to me is a Puccini-esque kind of writer-author, and her works are romantic to me. That when I think of romance in a classic sort of sense, I think of Jane Austen. So number 4, Rossini. So La Cenerentola, The Barber of Seville, a book in which rhythm features an important role. So The Barber of Seville, you know, Rossini's style, this very rhythmic type of singing, bel canto. So for me, rhythmic and author means Geoffrey Chaucer, the Canterbury Tales, you know, is set to a rhythm, the iambic pentameter, so you can't get more rhythmic than that, right? So I will go with the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer to be a book in which rhythm features an important role. So number 5, Wagner, The Ring Cycle, is what springs to mind. The De Valkyrie, the Das Rheingold, De Valkyrie, Siegfried, Götterdämmerung. Let's see, The Flying Dutchman. I've seen that opera too. Yeah, but Wagner, An Acquired Taste. I love that. Wagner, An Acquired Taste. So an acquired taste in Wagner, I'm associating that with J.R.R. Tolkien, you know, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And the reason for that is because the ring cycle of Wagner, Das Rheingold, Die Valkyrie, Siegfried, and Götterdämmerung, those 4 operas of the Ring of the Nibelunge, those are actually uses the same source material as J.R.R. Tolkien used for the Lord of the Rings. So there's a magical ring. There's even a dragon guarding a hoard of gold. The universe gets set out of balance because of this golden ring, that sort of powerful ring, and then gets made right. So I always associate these Wagnerian operas of the Ring cycle with J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. So number 6, Mozart. Don Giovanni comes to mind. Virtuosic. So for me, I thought about this for a while, and I came up with Thomas Mann. Last year I read Joseph and His Brothers. This is a really epic work of like 1,500 pages of Joseph and His Brothers by Thomas Mann. It was just so well done. It is, he considered it his, I guess, magnum opus, and it's just wonderful. And it's just the top of a writer literally at the top of their game. And this year, I just got this. Actually, I purchased this not long ago. This is The Magic Mountain, so I have not read this one yet, but this one will be coming up on a future read, and I will, of course, chat that when I do get it read. Number 7, Donizetti. So The Elixir of Love, The Daughter of the Regiment. Donizetti, a book author whose prose is charming, melodic, tickles your ear. And to me, this is Charles Dickens, if I'm thinking about a classical kind of reference. Charles Dickens' works are, they're just so entertaining and so sparkling with the dialogue and the characters that are in Charles Dickens' works. Charming. He really recreates, or for us today, recreates this London of 19th century London. And so for a book or author whose prose is charming, melodic, and tickles your ear, I'm going to go with Charles Dickens. So number 8, LEONCAVALLO, which Pagliacci, right? A potent, bold book. So a potent, bold book. I decided to choose The Glass Bead Game by Hermann Hesse. I've read this one twice. I had to read it twice because I didn't understand it the first time. But it's a very strong book. It was written like in the 1940s, yet it's very relevant to today. He talks about a society where information has become so fragmented that it's almost not understandable, and then there is a group that really seeks to sort of amalgamate knowledge and facilitate knowledge, or collect knowledge, and through a game called the Bead Game. So it is just, it is Hermann Hesse's, considered Hermann Hesse. He considered that his magnum opus, and I definitely agree. It is a wonderful, wonderful book, very bold and very potent. So that is the opera composer's book tag. That is all 8 of the questions. I don't think I will tag anyone on the tag. What I will do, I will link to, I mentioned several operas as I went through here. Those are all operas I have actually seen. I haven't chatted all of them though. I didn't chat Carmen. I'm not sure which ones I haven't chatted. I know I didn't chat Carmen because I tried to find that earlier. So anyway, I'm going to link down in the details below. I'm going to link to the chats that I've done on each of these each of these operas. For the Wagner opera, what I will do is I'm just going to link to the one I did chats on each of the 4 operas of the Ring cycle, but then I did one video that was just sort of a general summary of all of them, and so I'll link to that one down below if you're interested to see any of those sort of opera chats that I've done from way back when. So those will be down in the details. So this was a lot of fun to think about and to do, so thank you, Mark, for tagging me. I don't think I will tag anybody. If anybody finds this fun like I did, then consider yourself tagged, and I'd love to hear your responses. So until next time, take care. Bye.